All right, welcome guys. So it's week 2 of our studio closure. It looks like we're going to be back in the studio at the end of this week, in which case I'll be back to my normal schedule, but I wanted to give you one more video to get you through till then. I had a request for a shorter practice, so I'm going to try to give you a shorter practice for those of you who just have a little bit of time for yourself today. So we'll get right started. There's a Spotify link in the notes as well if you want to follow along. So we're going to start in a Virasana. If Virasana is not a comfortable seat for you, you can always sit with your ankles crossed. And I'm going to sit up on top of some blocks to give myself a little bit of height, give myself a little bit of space in the knee joint. Once you've found a seat that's comfortable for yourself, you can let the hands relax to the knees or the thighs. You can close the eyes, or you can find a soft focus. I'm going to play today on opening the area around the heart. And usually when we think about this, we think about the front of the body. Yeah, it's the part of the body that we present to the world. And we forget often about the back of the body, about the fact that opening our heart can actually mean opening the space in our backs as well. That side of ourselves that we sometimes forget about, the side of ourselves that we sometimes neglect. So as you start to bring your attention to this area of the body, take your hands and you can find the lowest points of your scapula or your shoulder blade. Just give them a little touch so you know where they are. And then bring your hands and just place your hands on your clavicle, your collarbones, just so you have an idea where that is in the body. And then releasing the hands to the knees, bring your attention to the bottom of that right shoulder blade. And then in your imagination, draw a line from the bottom of the right shoulder blade to the left clavicle, to the left collarbone. And then bringing your awareness to the bottom of your left scapula, your left shoulder blade. Draw a line from there to the right collarbone. And see if you can find yourself right in the place where those two lines intersect. So you're not pushing forward into the future. You're not sinking backward into the past, but you're finding yourself right in the center of your body, right in the center of this moment. I'm taking a few deep breaths into this area. Let the hands connect in a prayer in front of the heart, and we'll chant one Om to begin our practice, breathing in deeply. Om. The hands can release to the knees. If the eyes were closed, they can float open. On a breath in, sweeping the arms up to the sky. And with a breath out, we'll take a twist to the right. Right fingertips can either find the floor, or if that's a little far to reach, you can bring the hand onto the back of the sacrum. Now find a lift through the center of the chest, all the way up through the crown of the head. Keeping center, using the left hand to spiral back over the right shoulder. Keeping the left hand where it is, we'll sweep the right arm up to the sky and take a big lean over to the left. See if the right sitting bone can stay connected to the floor or to your prop. Turning the heart up toward the right armpit. And then taking the right arm across, finding the left leg, and we'll just round the spine, finding some space between the shoulder blades. Keeping the elbows crossed as they are, coming up to an eagle wrap, left elbow under the right elbow. And then drawing the elbows in toward the belly, separating the shoulder blades. From here, find opposite elbows, lifting that window shape up over the head. Find yourself right in the center of your body. Pressing into the shins, we'll rise up, lengthening the right leg, pressing the sole of the right foot into the mat. Feel the elbows rising away from the earth, and we'll take a big lean over toward the right side. Breathing in, bringing it back up through center. And exhale, we'll bring the hands down to the earth. Coming back to sit in a virasana or sitting with the ankles crossed. And with a breath in, staying right in your center, sending the arms to the sky. Exhale, we'll take a twist over to the left. Left fingers to the mat or finding the back of the sacrum. Finding that place where the lines intersected in the chest, letting it rise. And then exhale, spiraling, gazing back over that left shoulder. Keeping the right hand where it is, left arm floats to the sky. We take a lean over to the right side, spiraling the center of the heart up past the left armpit. And then crossing the left arm over, finding the right thigh, rounding the spine, keeping the elbows crossed, eagle wrapping, right elbow under, lifting through the elbows, through the fingertips. With an exhale, elbows in toward the navel, separating the shoulder blades. Finding those opposite elbows up above the head and rising up, making a window for your head. Pressing into the shins, rising up, and we'll lengthen the left leg, pinky toe rooting down, breathing the elbows high, and then it's a big lean over to the left side. And coming back, both elbows to the sky, releasing the hands to the mat. This time, if you have any props, you can move them out of the way, and we'll meet on hands and knees here. Right away, tucking the toes, sweeping the hips high for a downward facing dog. Taking a big breath in, taking a big breath out. One more inhale here. With an exhale, the right foot slides forward between the hands, planting the left palm, and take that center of the heart, spiraling it up toward the sky, toward the right fingertips. Inhaling. Exhale, right arm reaches long over the ear. Palm to the mat, rising up onto the fingertips, breathing in. With an exhale, starting to lengthen the right leg just a little bit, letting the upper body fold. Breathing in, right knee bends, looking forward, lifting the heart, planting the palms, downward facing dog. Exhaling. Rolling out to a plank pose, big breath in. Then we find a child's pose, softening back, hips to the heels. Exhaling. Glancing forward at the fingers, sliding out onto the belly, pressing into the palms for a baby cobra pose. And then traveling back through all fours, tucking the toes, down dog. Exhaling. With a breath in, lengthening the sitting bones toward the sky. With a breath out, the left foot steps forward between the hands. Right palm down, reaching the center of the heart up toward the left fingertips for a twist. Inhaling. Exhale, left arm long over the ear. Breathing in here. Top hand to the mat, breathing out. Rising onto the fingertips, breath in. Sitting bones up and back as the left leg lengthens. Breathing in, rebending that left knee. And this time the right foot steps forward to meet the left foot at the top of the mat. Taking a big breath in here, bending the knees, softening the sitting bones toward the mat, and we rise all the way up to stand. Pressing into the feet, arms floating high for a prayer. Let the hands come to the heart, releasing the arms by the sides for Tadasana. Imagining that place in the center of the heart, finding yourself centered on the 2 feet. With a breath in, arms reaching up to the sky, Breath out, right elbow, eagle wraps under the left elbow. Pressing into the feet, lifting through the upper body. Exhale, bending the knees, left fingers to the mat, right arm reaches open, finding a twist, heart to the right fingertips. Right arm over the ear, hand to the mat, forward fold. Right foot steps back, breathing in. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Rolling out to plank, breathing in. Lowering the knees to the mat, pointing the toes, elbows bend as we lower to the earth. Pressing into the palms, baby cobra pose. And then traveling back, hands and knees, down dog. Exhaling. Breathing in deeply. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Lifting up onto the fingertips with an exhale, lengthening the right leg, pressing into the ball of that big toe. Inhale, rebending, looking forward, stepping left foot forward, forward fold. Arms stretching to the sky, high prayer. Hands find the heart, exhaling. Reaching the arms back up, breath in. Left elbow, eagle wraps under the right. Lengthening the heart up past the elbows. Bending the knees, forward fold, right hand to the earth. Left arm peels open to the sky for a twist. Breathing in. Left arm over the ear and finding the mat. Left foot steps back, breathing in. Downward facing dog, breathing out. We roll out long to a plank pose. Inhale. This time you can have straight legs or bent legs, lowering all the way to the belly. Toes point for Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Traveling back, downward facing dog. Exhaling. Big breath in here. Use the belly. Step the left foot forward between the hands. Lengthening the spine forward, and with an exhale, pressing into the ball of the left foot. Head releases toward the left knee. Breathing in, rebending. Stepping the foot forward, forward fold. Arms sweeping to the sky, big breath in. Hands find the heart, breath out, Tadasana, arms by the sides. Utkatasana, softening the hips back, letting the heart reach forward, bringing some attention to that center of the heart, finding yourself in the middle. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the earth. Lengthening the spine, breath in. Bending the knees, planting the palms. You can step back to a plank and lower toward the earth. Lifting the heart, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Exhaling. Big breath in here. With an exhale, right foot steps between the hands. Spinning the back heel down to the mat. Sending the arms up to the sky for a warrior one pose. Feel that left hip circling forward. And with an exhale, right elbow slides under the left elbow. Breath in to lift through the elbows. Breath out to draw the elbows in toward the navel. Turning the right toes in, lengthening the arms out to the side. We'll find a long, flat back in our wide-legged stance. And with an exhale, hands to the mat, releasing into our straddle forward fold. Breathing in, breathing out. Just like we did earlier, we'll catch the elbows above the head, making a frame for the head, and then pressing into the feet, rising all the way up to stand, elbows above the head. And then we'll take it in a big circle, reaching over to the right, folding forward, arms to the left, coming all the way up to stand. We'll go in the other direction, to the left, big circle down, to the right, and coming up. Big breath in here. We turn to the top of the mat for a warrior two, right knee bending over the toes. Finding that place where those two lines intersect. So you're not leaning forward, you're not leaning back, you're right in the center. Pressing into the right foot, lengthening the right leg, inhaling. Triangle pose, deepening the hip crease, softening the right hand to the shin as the left arm circles to the sky. Center of the heart, spiraling up toward the left fingertips. Breath in. With a breath out, right knee bends, elbow to the thigh, and the left arm stretches long over the ear. Spiraling the heart up into the left armpit. Exhale, left hand to left hip. Right fingers find the mat, and we shift forward for a half moon pose. Left leg back, left fingertips to the sky, and then from that center place in the heart, turning, spiraling up toward the left fingertips. One more big inhale. Exhale, left hand to the mat, stepping all the way back to a low lunge. And we travel back to a plank pose. You can lower all the way or find your chaturanga. Rising, heart forward and up. Hips lift, down dog. Exhaling. Big breath in here. With an exhale, left foot steps between the hands. Back heel to the mat. Warrior one. Arms floating high. Again, imagine that right hip circling forward, plugging the left thigh into the socket. Left elbow under the right, finding those eagle arms, breathing in. Exhale, elbows to the navel, separating the shoulder blades. Turning the left toes in, facing the long side of the mat, arms going wide. And with an exhale, forward fold, releasing the hands, releasing the head. Catch the opposite elbow up above the head and pressing into the feet, rising up, window for the head. We go to the left, reaching with the elbows, circling down to the mat, other side, and all the way up. And we reverse it over to the right, big circle, the left, and up. We open to the front of the mat, Virabhadrasana 2. Again, finding yourself centered, not reaching into the future, not dwelling in the past, but letting the heart sit center, right in this present moment. Pressing into the left foot, left leg lengthens, inhaling. And we shift forward for a triangle pose. Center of the heart, spiraling up toward the right fingertips. Exhale, left knee bends, elbow to the thigh, right arm long over the ear. Heart spiraling up into the right armpit. Breathing in. Right hand to right hip. Left fingers find the earth and we shift forward for half moon pose. Right foot reaching back. And then we send the center of the heart up toward the right fingertips. Feeling yourself centered. Right hand to the mat. Big step back, low lunge. And we step back into a plank pose, lowering. Exhale. Rising, breath in. Down dog, hips get light. Big inhale here. Big exhale. One more inhale, and a little different here. We're going to step our left foot forward. Staying on the back toes, lifting the fronts of the hips, lifting the arms, high lunge. Breathing in, again feeling that right hip spiraling forward. With an exhale, right elbow slides under the left elbow, eagle wrap, bending the back knee and lifting the right knee toward the chest. We shift into Garudasana, eagle pose. Right thigh over, maybe toes hooking behind the left calf. creating space between the shoulder blades. Maybe you keep those eagle arms as the right leg unravels for a warrior three. If it's too much to keep the arms, let them go. That's totally fine. If you have the eagle arms, see if you can slide the elbows into the hands to make that window around the head for a warrior three variation. And then stepping all the way back to a lunge, toes to the mat, elbows reaching high. Exhale, hands to the earth. Plank pose, step it back to lower. Rising breath in, down dog. Breath out. Right away, big breath in. And with an exhale, the right foot steps forward between the hands. Lifting the front of the hip bones, letting it rise up through the head, through the fingertips for your high lunge. Right away, left elbow under the right elbow, softening the back knee. And we lift the left knee up toward the chest, moving into our eagle pose. Wrapping everything up and sending the hips down and back. Center of the heart forward and up, finding that opposition. Keeping the eagle arms, if it feels okay for you, unraveling the left leg for a Virabhadrasana 3. Again, if you need to let go of the arms, let go of the arms. If you have that eagle wrap, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Framing the face. Big breath in. Knees softens, we step all the way back to high lunge, toes touching down, framing the head. Breathing in, hands to the mat. We plank, we vinyasa, and we meet back in down dog. Breathing in, we have a child's pose on a breath out. And in that child's pose, again, we'll map out the center of the chest. Bringing your attention to your right shoulder blade, drawing a line from the right shoulder blade to the left clavicle. Bringing your attention to the left shoulder blade, drawing a line in your imagination from the left shoulder blade to the right clavicle. And finding yourself right in the center where those two lines intersect. Hands can crawl back to the knees, rolling all the way up to sit. Hips to the mat. We'll circle the legs around to the front and roll all the way down onto our backs. Feet on the mat, ankles under the knees, breathing in. Pressing into the palms, pressing into the feet, sweeping the hips to the sky. You can stay here or take the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers and walking the shoulder blades in to make a little shelf for that heart. Releasing the fingers. If you caught them, we'll take our time to roll down, melting the back of the heart, the back of the body to the mat. Keeping the feet where they are, take a gentle sway of the knees from side to side. And And drawing the knees in toward the chest. Give a little squeeze in. And we'll move into a happy baby. Feet to the sky, reaching up to grab the toes or the ankles or the knees, wherever you can reach. Knees in toward the armpits, feet facing the ceiling. And with an exhale, drawing the knees back in toward the chest. We'll take a few little rocks and rolls, massaging the back of the body into the earth. Feeling the space between the shoulder blades. And we'll come all the way up to sit. We're going to move into a Baddha Konasana. So bringing the feet to the mat, we'll peel open, placing the soles of the feet together. Now, if we want to get more into the inner thigh, inner groin area, we can bring the heels and the pelvis really close together. If we want to get more into the outer hip area, we can make a little bit more space, a little bit of a wider angle. Wherever you can reach, hold on. Feel a gentle rise to the center of the heart, up through the crown of the head. And then take the center of the heart forward. Reaching it out long. And with an exhale, you can release the head off of the neck. Rolling all the way up to sit. Drawing the knees together. And we'll roll all the way back down onto our backs for a short Savasana. Letting the arms release, letting the eyes float closed. And just allowing the body to find some softness, a sense of melting into the earth beneath you. You can take a deep breath in through the nose, opening the mouth, sighing it away. Giving the fingers and the toes a little bit of movement. Gently allowing the knees to bend, stepping the feet onto the mat. Roll over onto the right side. And we'll meet sitting. Allowing the hands to find a prayer in front of the heart. Feeling that connection of the sternum and the thumbs. You can imagine that there's a prayer on the back of your body. and feeling that connection between the spine and that imaginary prayer. Finding yourself right in your center. Breathe in for Om. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste.